Hello, happy whatever day it is when you're watching this. This is Guild Daddy D, Mr. D, or just D. We're going to be trying something new today when going over the Global Labs patch notes. I'm going to be letting YouTube do automatic chapters, so feel free to comment, let me know if they work. If not, I can go back and add the manual timers because I have been having some people comment that they would love to have chapters on these, so I will work on that. So, getting started, we are looking at the Global Labs patch notes from May 16th. I know I'm a few days late. I appreciate your patience. Let's start right up and dive into the Dosa. Added the skill Dawn Fog, which can be learned. This is the Abyssal skill. It can be obtained with the knowledge of marine vessels of the Abyss. So I don't know how to read this, so I can't give you much information, but you're getting your Abyssal skill, which looks pretty cool. Looks like a big AoE that's got a bunch of fog and mist, and we're going to love it. I haven't admittedly spent a lot of time on my Dosa. I was comfortable with the class. It seems like it's a fun class. I just haven't gotten around to playing a ton of it so far. So if you do play Dosa, let me know what you think of this when it comes out, and maybe we could do a feature video. Moving right down here, the skill has been changed so that it can be used by registering at the skill slot. Flow when acquiring skills. The Dosa is getting its PvE damage buff, which is about 15%. PvP reduction is going up a tad. So Dosa is going to get a little buff for PvE and just a little bit of a PvP nerf, which is fine. Going down through, making sure there's nothing crazy. Okay, moving on to content. They're increasing the stuff you can get from nodes around Ulukita. What they're doing here is it looks like they're going to be adding additional nodes and worker residents so that you can have more workers and get more materials. If we read down through this, let's see, base items, and near the village of Keflin, the new production mode has been added. Monk's Branch. Okay, we got sap, acacia tree sap, and acacia tree lumber. Monk's Branches, that's going to be in Naruto Plains. A Tetsusara, I'm going to butcher these, is copper ore, and it looks like translucent crystals. Iron and blue crystals. Trace of nature, translucent crystals, blue crystals, trace of nature. Birchwood, birch sap. Iron, that's probably powder of darkness, and black crystals. Whitewood, maybe cedar and cedar sap, and then red tree or bloody tree knot or red tree stump. No, this is cedar wood, so whitewood must be something else. Cedar sewage, yes, not sewage, sap, excuse me. These translations are horrible, and I apologize. Pine wood, pine sap, and we've got the spirit leaf, birchwood, birch sap, and acacia tree and acacia sap. So for those of you who want more sap, you're going to get your wish. A lot of this stuff is going to be, I hate to say it, but just processing junk. And, you know, maybe trade crate junk, or maybe stuff to just throw onto the market. With the addition of the production bases, they're going to give Asperkin and Musker begin working as task managers, so you'll be able to get more workers. Residential areas have been added or expanded to allow more accommodations for lodging, I'm assuming. In Asperkin, it is, let's see here, as we're reading down through. So you're going to get 3 levels on that one, so that'll be an additional 3 workers, and then 2 levels, it looks like, there. So maybe 5 new workers in Asperkin. And Musker, you can get level 5 residents, 5, so you can get a ton of workers in Musker. And then in Kaplan, you're going to be getting Leaf of the Spirit and wood, cedar wood, zinc ore, powder earth, copper ore, and translucent gems. So, I mean, you know, I don't know about you. There's probably some life skillers out there or AFKers that do a ton of processing. Nothing here seems game-changing. If there was like mithril or silver ore or something like that, I could see where everybody would be going absolutely nuts with this. But nothing here really seems like earth-shattering or mind-blowing or anything, so just keep an eye on. They're going to be expanding the nodes in Ulukita. Improve worker contracts from the task supervisor NPC to move faster to the next worker when you proceed. Okay, this is when you're rolling for artisan or professional workers, so that's good. This is where we talked about in the last patch notes, they're going to be reducing the max CP for all housing down to 5 or less. For those of you who like the 3-tier house in Grana and some other places, you're going to be getting a rebate on some of your contribution points. We've also adjusted the CP needed to connect nodes. So I talked about this in my last patch note video when we went through the changes that were coming. Basically what they're going to be doing is they're going to be easing, like, you know, the gateway and connection nodes are still going to be 3 CP, but a lot of the other nodes are going to be 1. That, you know, if they were 3, they might go down to 2. If they were 2, they might go down to 1. Especially with a lot of the trade nodes that don't have anything to do with the game anymore, since, you know, this system was put into place, what, 7 years ago, when trade crates and 300 million a month was huge income. So quite possibly you might get to see a ton of your CP open up here in the next week or 2. If you haven't done so already, I would highly suggest to use that to unlock the Royal Workshops up in Seoul. If you don't know how to work that, I've been learning, and possibly sometime this week look for a video that I will put out to talk about Royal Workshops and show you how to do that, because you potentially can make some pitfalls there. It's not really well explained, or I'm too lazy to actually read the rules and I've just been clicking buttons, but I have figured it out. That's good news. So moving right along. The amount of contribution required to purchase the following estates have been reduced. So, like, as you see right here in Grana, all the 8s and the 6s have gone down to 5s and 3s. Everything's going to be 5 or below. So those of you who have, like, the 3rd tier house and stuff like that, we're going to be getting some freed up contribution. A few different things you can use that contribution for besides the Royal Workshop. Highly suggest getting a storage box and renting that from any warehouse manager, putting it in your residence. You can have access to all your storage in the game from your residence. That's super handy. As far as contribution goes, I mean, if you want to do farming, you can rent fences. They're 10 apiece, so you can chew up 100 contributions super easy with that. I really don't know if there's anything else worth it. If you want to start with hunting, you're going to need some CP to rent the beginner's match locks. Other than that, if there's anything else that I'm missing that would be great for contribution that's just not coming to my head, feel free to comment in the video and correct me. The thing that comes to mind too is if you're a new player, you can, and I don't remember if this is contribution or silver, but you can rent accessories from the guild house, or from your guild, and I believe it's from the guild shop. Let's see here. There's no way I could tell that from in-game where I am right now. So you can rent accessories. Like I said, I don't know if it's contribution or not, but if you have some really hot tips for CP investment, let us know. Obviously, production nodes are going to be huge, as well as residents are going to be huge. Personally, I think it's worth connecting all the cities across Black Desert, simply because when trade gets great again, which it'll happen. I know some of you are scoffing, but it'll happen. You'll already have them connected. But also, like, you know, what do you do in game? Like, for instance, for a long time I was building boats, and one of the main ingredients for boats are pine-coated plywood. So I needed a ton of coconuts. So I have every node over east of Valencia that gives coconuts heavily invested in and heavily worked. You know, what do you do? Do you cook? Okay, you know, provide yourself with the most amount of ingredients. Do you make bottles? Okay, well, unfortunately you can't mine silver with a worker, but you know, you can look for materials that can help you build other things. And also make sure that specifically if you're grinding for treasure pieces, invest in the node, dump all your energy into it, get it to level 20. That just gives you that base item drop rate whenever you're grinding in that node, so it's going to reduce the amount of time that you can grind. So any other tips for contribution investment, feel free to comment on the video. DM me on Discord. My Discord information is in the bottom right of the screen. Let me know what you guys think. So continuing on, the number of contributions required to connect the following strongholds have been reduced. So yeah, this is where we're talking about our connection nodes. A lot of them are going from 3 to 2, 2 to 1, etc. So just keep in mind that if you log in next week and you have a ton of extra CP, this is why. Diving content such as fishing, cultivation, training are often carried out when you go to sleep, so we're going to say AFK content. In these cases, for optimum efficiency, we had to get up in the morning, check the result of last night, sell the fish, whatever. So they've increased the amount of time that the fish takes to go bad right here. Introduced, so this is extension of fish price warranty. So it used to be 24 hours. That can go up to whatever in the fish bowl. Now it's going from 36 to 60 hours or from 24 to 48 hours. So fish are going to stay fresh longer. Congratulations, Pearl Abyss, you've invented refrigeration. Um, Also added seeds of abundance, rich seeds that can be made by processing magic seeds, mysterious seeds, and pink leaves. I'm assuming pink leaves are the things we get when farming. Let me open my storage here. Let me see what they're called. Actually, yeah, the blush leaf. Excuse me. It's probably going to be the blush leaf. So abundant seeds increase their planting time to about 24 hours, which increases the number of times it can be obtained during harvesting improvement. So that's going to maybe increase the gathering or amount of seeds you can get from your fence. We'll have to see how that works out. Also, the item description is improved to give you a clearer view to where to earn 530% combat and skill experience. Okay. Requests and knowledge. Recently, a number of rumors spread in the village of Velia by a growing number of fishermen. The story is a character of 7th level or higher that can be found through the fantastic request in the request. How many times can they say request? If you already have the knowledge of the Eyes of Okilua, the conversation button that gives you the knowledge when interacting with the herd Romson NPC at the warehouse of Okalua has been improved so that you know will not be exposed. The unknown figure of a fish. There have been a lot of rumors about the recent rise of fishermen. Silhouette of an unknown fish. Lately, a mysterious rumor has been spreading among the fishermen. I'm wondering if this is Okilla. The wharf manager is Revikiel in Okilla, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is, if they're going to be adding something in, or, what's got me confused is when they say that if you already have the knowledge. So, I mean, I don't know. The Herd Romson NPC at the warehouse of Okilula. If anybody has any guesses or any information on that, that would be awesome. I don't, so I'm just gonna go with that. As we go down, occupied war base battle. This is talking about, in addition to the elephant, it improved the parts that were somewhat unnatural motion to ensure that each siege weapon used has defined roles. We're adjusting the balance of siege weapons. We improved the Cadria elephant's hit detection and made changes to its movement. This was talking about, as we went through the notes, they're just tweaking the damages from siege weapons as well as the hitboxes. So this is, all positive stuff. If you do Node Wars, let me know if this is something that drastically affects you or if it's just minimal changes. I have not played with Node Wars in quite some time, so I really can't give an opinion on it, especially since it's not live in N8. But I really haven't felt PvP from a Node Wars perspective in probably a year. So here's the changes. The normal cannonball has increased the damage by 100% when hitting the flame tower and new battle. Ballista, 100% when hitting the gate. For lack of a better way of putting it, they're just making everything a little more specific, rather than just, blank damage to everything. So if you actually use the corresponding weapon to attack the corresponding building, you're going to do extra damage. The elephant, this has been changed to make it impossible to move the mouse while using the attack. The following attack techniques have been changed to no longer neutralize the forward guard's super armor effects, so you can't, OP elephant anymore. The damage has been increased to negate the fact that you're not blowing through their SA or forward guard anymore. Improve to be able to rotate from the beginning of the attack to the beginning of the attack. The speed of rotation, okay. In the question card Citadel of the Occupied Stronghold, the end time has been changed to allow the 4 battles that cannot be relaxed at the end. So the method for determining the closing time of Node War forts with hidden timers has been changed so that the battles remain tense until the very end. Okay, so they want to keep everybody engaged and not bored. So, okay, this is interesting. In the occupied method strong battle, at the end time of the question mark Citadel has been changed randomly in minutes 2 seconds. So yeah, they're making it shorter and more intense. The maximum distance traveled that can be observed has been increased with each of the trackers as used by wartime adventurers. 2 times, increased by 16%. Added the ability for war journalists to change the guild name or federation, font color. Okay, and then the rewards you can earn in the main battle have been improved. So this is the rewards that you can get, phase 3 up to phase 5. Additional rewards when occupying a question mark base. Strong victory prize with gridded in. So you get another more brilliant medals of honor, more gritty boxes, and more gold. When opening a loot box or crate, you can earn one of the following items: spectacular destruction of animism shards, gold box, honorable courage, Lucas, Ocrids, excellent whale tendons, etc., etc., etc. All the stuff that people clamor for. So more stuff for PvP. Really, basically, they're making it shorter and more intense, trying to get more people involved with node wars and siege wars. Is the scene coming back? So, the overall question here that I've kind of noticed is that over the last year and a half, 2 years, Siege Wars and Node Wars has been kind of dwindling, and I don't know if it's because of the player base just doesn't have an appetite for it, or specifically the changes have been horrific. So if these changes will make a difference, I want to hear from you. I would love to actually have a commentary with somebody who does Siege War and Node Wars on a regular basis that can speak to it rather than me just throwing my literal opinion with nothing backing it up. So if you guys have an opinion, let me know. Shoot me a DM on Discord or comment in the video and we could talk about it. Debaraka earrings. Debarakas can come out of the boxes. The reward for participating has been added, so you get gold bars and brilliant medals of honor just for participation trophies are always good. Passengers, in addition to improved convenience and directing during horse captures, has added fun elements, training content. Okay, we talked about this in the upcoming changes when I did my dev patch notes. Wild horses, they're going to be changing it so that you can get up to a tier 8 horse and up to a level 20 horse when you capture them. So that's the big change. It used to be where you can get a 6 with a small chance to get a 7. Now you can get up to a 6 or 7 with a very small chance to get an 8. They've increased the chance of getting tier 7s a little bit more, but the main change is you can get them actually up to level 10 or up to level 20 now, which means you can instantly capture a horse and Imperial trade it, which that's going to save a lot of time for training. They're also introducing 2 different kinds of horses. These are going to be wild horses. One of them has a growth rate that's 2.5 times slower, but the male rare wild horse, which has about 5 times the selling price. And then the other one is a female horse, which has 4 breeds on it. So those are the ones, I was a big horse breeder until they just increased the money for AFK fishing dramatically, and now I make a ton more money fishing. But I used to breed coursers all the time, and females are the bottleneck. 100%. No holds bar, no questions, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Females are always a bottleneck. So finding females with 4 breeds, expect to start seeing these pop up on the market where people are going to be selling them if the price is right. If not, people like me are just going to breed the heck out of them, and you're going to see a ton of coursers flood the market. Courser prices are going to drop, T10 prices are going to drop. This is going to, basically be the Oprah Winfrey of everybody getting the horse they want. So you get a horse, you get a horse, you get a horse. So this is quite possibly might actually kill the horse market, but we'll see. I might be wrong. When using the remote recovery function, it has been changed to be recovered according to the rules. Up to 20 can be remotely recovered regardless of the actual free space in the stable. So you don't need to invest CP in your stable just to get all your horses. And if there's more than 20, if there's insufficient free space in the actual stable, it cannot be recovered. Okay, so you could get 20 over what your limit is. System, the maximum growth on seasons is going up to level 63 to 99%. So those of you who like to grind up to 63, go for it. If you have a compass, it's been improved so that you can display your location to guild unit party members in the desert or ocean. Go get your compass. When there's a treasure event, grind Gyphons, get your compasses. Modifications and changes, fixed typos, fixed awkward exposure on the sea island, rocks in Balanos, content of the knowledge of the teacher of the village of Tarif. Deadeye, fix a phenomenon in which the movement of the cape was not natural. How dare they? Black Hull fixed a phenomenon in which the head of the golden pig on C8, 9, and 10 had taken the action to recover from a certain pattern. Okay. Fixed a problem where automatic movement was not smooth in Ulukita Estate. A phenomenon in Ord's Cradle in which certain knowledge cannot be acquired. For all of you knowledge hunters that have been grinding your teeth for knowledge. Fixed a phenomenon in which fishing was canceled due to shadow skills of a party or guild member's dream doom ups and downs during fishing. Okay. Fixed an issue where at the end of an occupation war, the result window of the occupation or the incorrect result window would appear. The Acidel necklace has been added to the list of available accessories in the description of dried up moonshine glass. And the Acidel belt has been added to the list of possible accessories amongst the description of lone waves and the items of drinking glass with sad sunsets. That covers it. I really would like to know the Acidel necklace and Acidel belt. Are those for specific sets of gear? Is that for PvP or whatever? Because I really haven't heard of anybody using them yet. So maybe comment in the video. I know I've asked you guys to comment a lot, but I really do appreciate the comments that are coming in and some of the DMs I've gotten. I'm more than happy to take constructive criticism, but this is also a learning process for me. I've been playing the game for 8 years. I don't know everything. So, this is my contribution to help other players, as well as explore certain things in the game that I might not know everything about. So, Acidel necklace, Acidel accessories, what do we use them for? Comment on your tips and tricks for contribution points, as well as any changes for your class, any classes that you would love to see me try to play and horribly just ugh. But would love to hear from you guys. As always, subscribe and like. I really do appreciate it, and you guys have a fantastic day, and stay tuned for more updates.